Hello, you guys. Welcome to my channel. I'm Miley, and today's pick and image reading will be on the positive message that you need to receive right now. We will be looking into what your positive message will be, as well as finding out what your positive message is regarding the way in which you are healing that you may benefit from acknowledging more often. So, before we get into the readings, I would like for you to know that you are free to listen to the messages that I channel today through the cards, and I hope that regardless of what you choose, you will make your decision based on your own inner guidance. On the screen, you have the opportunity here to select which of the three piles with the teacup and word positivity calls to you the most, and you may select one or more piles if you choose to do so. Because this is a general reading, personally channeled messages may or may not resonate, so if it does not resonate, release and do not force it to resonate for whatever your life situation may be at the time you are seeing this video. Now that I have said all of that, if you need more time to determine which pile is meant for you, I will give you more time to meditate on that. If you don't need any more time selecting the pile that has your name and energy written all over it, then your timestamp for your reading can be found in the description box below. And I'll see you at your selected pile. I hope you enjoy your reading. Hello, my pile number ones. Let's find out what is the positive message that you need to receive right now. And for your first three tarot cards, you have the Page of Cups upright, the Three of Cups reversed, and the Seven of Swords upright. And pulling from the Golden Mantras Affirmation deck, you have the card that says, I am my best healer, I am my strongest healer, and I've got this. And reading from the guidebook for your card, it says, my sweet love, no one will ever know you as intimately as you know yourself. Just breathe for one moment to hear your heart. It will tell you what is needed to nourish its wounds, for it knows you are its greatest healer. You've got this, beautiful one. And for your journal prompt, it says, sit yourself in a quiet space and take 3 breaths. Now close your eyes and take 3 slower, much deeper breaths. Allow silence to fill the air until you feel you are rooted. Ask your heart what's wrong, and then ask it why. Once it's done speaking, ask how you can begin to nourish its wounds. So, the first thing that I am picking up on is the example of a person realizing that their friend group is not the group that they should belong in anymore. There is this feeling of separating yourself from the group because you no longer relate to them. Maybe in the past you did, which is how you ended up surrounding yourself around these people, but as of late you're noticing that you are growing, you are shifting into something or someone that no longer is able to connect with others in the same way. I'm picking up on living a double life. Let's say you know these people because you share something in common with them. This could be a hobby, this could be related to your beliefs in life. You could have found a community through these shared common interests, but now things for you are changing, and that's okay. We all go through our own phases in life where we change, and you have to trust yourself that you know what is best for you. Some of you could be afraid to open up and showcase the new you that has been wanting to emerge for quite some time now. This would be like if a child was shunned for being different, and so to cope with this, they have learned to suppress certain sides of them that allows them to live their authentic selves. It's a cover up. And now, as an adult, the sides of them that were suppressed are bubbling up to the surface to make some changes in this person's life. The positive message here is that you are learning to accept yourself more, pal number one. You're learning that it's okay to be you. You could have gone to college to be what others wanted you to be, and you're realizing that this is not who you are. You are a creative. You are not utilizing your gifts in the way that you were meant to, and you're taking the time now to discover how you can better live a more authentic lifestyle for yourself. You're learning how to trust that you know what's best for you, and it may have taken you a while to get to this point, but you're proud that you are here. You've made it to this pivotal moment in your life where you realize that you do have the power to make a change in your life. For some of you, you're learning to be okay with being by yourself if it means you don't have to live a life where you feel as though the real you is in hiding. The plans are changing for you in a positive way. You have a chance to make things right for yourself again. I'm hearing you're coming out of the closet. For your next tarot card, you have the Five of Wands reversed. However, when the card came out, it was upright when I saw it flipped over in the deck, but it flipped in the reverse position when it landed on top of your other tarot cards. So I'm taking that as at one point you were fighting this change, but now you are learning to no longer resist it. You're surrendering yourself to the change. You fought long and hard to achieve what you currently have, even if deep down it didn't resonate with you. This would be like committing to a relationship you're not supposed to be in, but you fought to keep it for your own reasons. This could have been because of control. You wanted to keep this person in your life, even though the signs were there all along saying that this person does not want to be with you in the same way you want to be with them. You could have had an image that you wanted to uphold, which was why you were not willing to let go in the beginning. But now you're learning to say that you don't care about what others think. Their opinions of you don't matter as much to you anymore. Their opinions no longer have power over you. This could also be the example of your family placing certain expectations of you to fit their image, and you're tired of playing along like this is okay to live your life like this. I'm picking up on the Disney movie Encanto, how Abuela wanted the perfect image of her family, even if deep down everyone was miserable with the way things operated because they weren't allowed to be themselves. They had to put up a front for the people in the community and to make Abuela happy. You're learning to tear down the layers that do not accurately reflect who you are and where you would like to go in life. Pulling from the self-care wisdom cards deck, you have the growth card that says evolution starts when you leave your comfort zone. Get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Yes, you're changing, and this change is a positive shift for you. And it's a good thing that you are being pushed to be more uncomfortable with the things you are being challenged to face, because that's where you will find growth. It might not feel like it at first, but you're on the right path. You just have to dismantle some things first in order to make space and build up what you want to create in your life. For your next tarot card, you have the Nine of Swords upright. And so this could be what you are feeling now or what you will be feeling in the near future. You have doubts and questions running through your mind about whether or not you're making the right choices. Again, you're in a space where you are uncomfortable. The life you've known is being torn down. And I feel as though some of you knew that this point would eventually happen, this time would eventually come, but it's still uncomfortable to go through this process, no matter how much you've mentally prepared yourself to go through with this process. I'm picking up on getting a divorce. You knew you were going to commit to getting a divorce. You knew it was going to be a process. For some of you, a really messy process, but you've agreed to go through this process anyway because you knew that it needed to be done. You knew that this was the right choice for you in order for you to create the life you actually want to live, the love life you know you actually deserve to have, and you know you can create for yourself. This process will be hard, but the positive message is that it will be worth it in the end to shed away what no longer resonates with you. You are healing and coming back home to yourself internally. I'm picking up that for some of you, you could actually benefit from being alone for some time. Get to know yourself better. Who are you when you are not influenced by the voices of others? This is a great opportunity to get to know that version of you that isn't scared to be alone. If it means they won't have to surround themselves around people who won't accept them for who they truly are. You're like a lotus flower that's growing in the darkness, in the muddy waters, and is ready to come up to the surface and share its beautiful light regardless of the environment they once came from. This would be like growing up in an environment where others believed that you weren't going to amount to anything in life, and for a while you believed that to be true, but now you're realizing that you don't have to allow the negativity from others dictate who you want to become for yourself. They may have given up on you, but you haven't given up on yourself, and that's what should matter. You're learning how to not give your own power away so easily like you did before. You're learning to speak life into yourself and are learning how to allow only your voice and what you speak into the world to hold power over you, not other people's voices. For the next question that I want to ask in your reading, let's find out what your positive message is regarding the way in which you are healing that you may benefit from acknowledging more often. And to answer this question, pulling from the Below the Surface Oracle deck, you have the Psychedelic Frogfish card that says Conscious Filtering, What Are You Consuming? And reading from the guidebook for your card, it says, the psychedelic frogfish is a unique type of anglerfish only recently discovered. This fish has an inexplicable charm, gifted with a stunning pattern that resembles a swirl and an ongoing personality. Being relatively harmless, this beautiful creature must find conscious feeding methods, such as blocking off crevices to capture prey. The psychedelic frogfish asks you an engaging question. What are you consuming, literally and figuratively? And are you aware of its impact on your life? After all, your subconscious mind constantly collects information from your surroundings and interactions with your environment. There is no way to stop your brain from processing every piece of data it can get. As a result, what you consume influences much of your behavior. Be very mindful of this. Conscious filtering of the media you subject your brain to can help you reclaim your sovereignty and realize the impact of what you choose to consume daily. Knowing that conscious filtering has the power to change your life, do you continue to watch the same TV shows, follow your current most viewed Instagram pages, or stay in touch with someone who loves gossip? And for your tarot cards, you have the Six of Wands upright paired with the King of Cups reversed. The energy of the King of Cups is the energy you are slowly but surely coming out of. Things that were repressed, buried underneath, you're giving them space to emerge out of you. It's like you're being flipped inside out. What once was covered is now coming out to be seen. And this is something that is actually worth celebrating and worth acknowledging because it's showing you that you are on the right path. You're able to lead life in a way that is better suited for you. I'm also picking up that your mental space is changing for the better. It's improving. You are actively choosing to shed away what no longer serves your highest good. You now have the High Priestess card upright in your reading. You know what's good for you, and you have been actively choosing what is best for you. You're getting better at trusting your own inner guidance and are becoming independent. You haven't been as easily influenced by others' thoughts and opinions as of late. Your healing is showing you that you can trust yourself, that you do know what's best for you. You're becoming more confident in yourself. I'm hearing that someone is taking the creative lead on something. Your position could be moved up higher than where you are now, like a promotion. You're accepting more responsibility and becoming more of a leader to those around you and for yourself. You're becoming a lot stronger physically, mentally, emotionally, and or spiritually. And this is an amazing achievement for you, pal number one, that you deserve to recognize more often. You're not small anymore. You've grown. I feel as though if you were to see an old picture of yourself from a long time ago, maybe even a few years ago, you would be shocked by how much you have grown and changed throughout the years. Because sometimes when you're in it, you don't really see it. You don't see the change. It's not until you use something to track your progress, like a photo or a journal entry, that you'll start to notice all the ways in which you have evolved. You have actively been changing in a positive way. And it's time that you start to acknowledge that side of you more and give yourself more flowers. And that is all that I have for you, pile number one. You've reached the end of your reading. I hope the messages within this pile resonated with you. If you would like to, don't forget to like, comment, and or subscribe to follow when I next upload. And until then, I hope that you guys have a blessed and wonderfully divinely guided day. See you later. Hello, my pile number twos. Let's find out what is the positive message that you need to receive right now. And for your first three tarot cards, you have the Knight of Wands reversed, the Queen of Swords reversed, and the Fool card upright. And pulling from the Golden Mantras affirmation deck, you have the card that says, I give myself grace when I make mistakes and veer off my divine path. And reading from the guidebook for your card, it says, my love, we are not perfect. The divine doesn't expect us to be. They understand that we are on a journey, which is why we are equipped with a soul council to help us learn lessons and to pick us up when we've fallen far down. You have made a decision that you consider a mistake and you feel thrown off balance. You are trying to find your way back to your sweet spot. Beautiful one, you are exactly where you are meant to be. Give yourself grace and move forward. Speaking light and positivity, things will transition for the better. You are almost back home. And if you would like to answer this question for your journal prompt, it says, in what ways can I make better decisions that align with my divine path as I move forward? So for you, pile number two, it seems as though you have made some interesting choices in the past that you are now learning to let go and free yourself from. The positive message here is that you are learning how to forgive yourself, forgiving yourself for holding on to this burden for as long as you did. You're learning to release it from your system so you can move on and not be stuck in the past. This could be related to the things that you have said and or done to another person or group of people. And for some of you, you might not have cared how your words and actions have impacted the people around. But as of late, you've had a change of heart and are saying, okay, maybe that was messed up of me to say or do what I did to that person. I'm able to see things from their perspective now, and I'm not liking what I'm seeing about myself. And I think that I'm ready for change. I'm ready to change now. There is a switch up from being careless to being careful moving forward. Being more gentle with others, being more sensitive to others' feelings, becoming more aware of yourself and thinking before you speak or thinking before you take action, because in the past, doing things without thinking about it first may have gotten you into some trouble. And so as of right now, your energy reads as you are now open and willing to be more empathetic towards others and are giving yourself the space to not hold on to the past. You recognize that you can't change it, but you do know that you can do something about what you choose to do moving forward. You could have wronged yourself and are now deciding that enough is enough. You're tired of treating yourself this way and something's got to change. You're entering a new season in your life that you are willing to embrace with open arms. For your next tarot card, you have the Seven of Wands reversed, which is giving me the energy of should've, could've, would've. Maybe if I approached a situation like this in the past, then maybe things wouldn't have turned out like this. I should have done X, Y, and Z, then maybe I wouldn't be going through what I'm going through right now. Let this energy go if you haven't done so already. It's too late. You can't change the past. I'm picking up on this energy of feeling defeated, but just because it's game over, that doesn't mean that you can't play the game for the rest of your life. I'm getting the example of someone looking back at an old relationship they didn't want to end, but because of their decisions, it led to the end of that old relationship, and now this person realizes that they can't go back to that relationship, which makes them sad, but it's not the end of the world. There was something to learn from that old relationship that they can change when they're ready for the new one to enter into their life. Positive message here is to not throw in the towel. Sometimes in life you win and sometimes you lose. You are more than just your losses. Pulling from the Self-Care Wisdom cards deck, you have two cards that wanted to come out for you. The first card is the decision card that says sometimes the best decision is no decision at all. And the second card that actually jumped out twice when I was shuffling the card was the kindness card that says, what if being kind to yourself really could change everything? So when I first started shuffling the cards, the kindness card peeked out, but it didn't jump out of the deck, so I didn't take it at first. Then after the decision card came out, the kindness card jumped out after it. But I think both cards are important to your reading. The decision card is making me think of reflection. Instead of trying to rush into something to fix it and you keep pushing and pushing and pushing, maybe not pushing is what's needed at the moment. Maybe give yourself time to reflect on everything that has contributed to where you are currently in your life. If there are some things that you are not happy about, don't be afraid to take the time to pause, slow down, and maybe think about some things and ask yourself some really deep questions that only you'll be able to answer. Time is your friend as of right now, so use it wisely. I'm picking up on this hermit mode energy where you may decide to retreat for your own good and sanity. You might not have been seeing certain things clearly and it's been leaving you in this state of confusion. Time will really reveal to you what you have been confused about as of late. And for your kindness card, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. Be a little bit more kind to yourself. There's no need to beat yourself up even more about the situation. The past can help you make sense of everything, but it's not the only piece to the puzzle you need to move on and move forward and heal from the situation. You also have to look at the present and the future. Putting all three of these timelines together can be used to figure out the path that you are being called to walk toward. It'll help you make sense of everything. So now is not the time to rush or force anything or push forward or control a situation before you even know the full story. Take your time to process everything right now. Allow new information to come toward over time. It's less of a hassle, less of a headache when you allow yourself to slow things down a bit. You're able to think clearer than before, and everything within your body becomes steady. For your next tarot card, you have the Four of Swords reversed. The positive message here is that you're being nudged to take care of yourself a bit better, and the universe is giving you the time and space to do so. You just have to pay attention to the opportunity when it presents itself. Some of you may be experiencing a difficult time right now, and time itself is coming in to be your friend to teach you how to be more gentle with yourself. For some of you, I am picking up that learning how to properly care for yourself will eventually trickle down to how you can better care for others. It's like learning how to be more empathetic. I'm picking up on the phrase, do to others as you would have them do to you. If you wouldn't treat yourself this way, why go out of your way to do it to someone else? Or vice versa. If you wouldn't do it to others, why allow someone to do it to you? Set firm boundaries, regardless of which group you resonate with. The message here is to be fair and kind to ourselves and each other. And I'm picking up that it's a gift that keeps on giving. It is a gift that builds community. I'm getting the visual of a parent sending their child to their room to think about what they've done before they're ready to come back out, to come join and be part of the family again. You may feel as though you're in a space like this, pal number 2, where you're being sent away to isolate before you're ready to join a community or society again. Some of you may choose to go into isolation out of free will, while others of you are experiencing things being removed or taken away or separating from you, and it's forcing you to be in a space of isolation. And although it feels uncomfortable, a lot of you do recognize that it's what's needed during this time to process everything that has happened in your life all the way till now in the present, to determine how you would like to live your life moving forward. When you do come out of isolation, how would you like to give yourself a fresh new start? I'm being drawn back to the Fool card. What do you need to let go of and heal before you start your brand new journey in life? How would you do things differently when the opportunity to start over presents itself? These are some really good questions to think about that gives hope to your future, pal number 2. For the next question that I want to ask in your reading, let's find out what your positive message is regarding the way in which you are healing that you may benefit from acknowledging more often. And to answer this question, pulling from the Below the Surface Oracle deck, you have the Walrus Calf card that says your inner world is safe, embracing all your emotions to create a state of flow. And reading from the guidebook for your card, it says, moving about as a walrus calf on land might seem like a struggle, and indeed, when predators such as polar bears are near, it is often safest for a young walrus to dip into the water quickly where it can easily outswim a polar bear. In the depths of the sea, its enormous body becomes seemingly weightless, and the walrus calf can move effortlessly compared to when on land. Using the metaphor of the water element becoming a safe haven, almost vital for survival, the walrus calf encourages you to be unafraid to be submerged. Water is a symbol that represents your emotions and inner world. Your guides want you to have faith in the validity of your feelings. Whether you are feeling radiant or blue, you have the right to embrace your entire spectrum of feelings and work with your emotions rather than against them. When every part of you feels like it has space and recognition, you can effortlessly enter a state of flow in your existence. And for your tarot cards, you have the Seven of Wands reversed again in your reading, paired with the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Some of you are coming to terms with who you are or who you were in the past that may not have put you in the best light. You know how they say the first step to recovery is acceptance? The positive message about your healing is that you are currently in the process of learning how to not run away from your problems. You are learning to face yourself, the good, the bad, and the ugly. See yourself as a whole, not just acknowledging the good parts of you or the image that you've created for others to believe is 100% the real version of you. A lot of you are coming to terms with the role that you've played in certain situations where you may have been complacent. You chose to not do anything about a situation. That is part of why things played out in the way that they did. You may have done this out of fear. Maybe you didn't believe that you were the kind of person that was courageous enough to take action or make a change, so you chose to do nothing instead, or you chose to keep things the same even if it was to the detriment of others or to yourself. Your positive message regarding the way in which you are healing that you may benefit from acknowledging more often is that you're saying no more to all of this. You have now chosen to accept the challenge of healing, even if you recognize that this journey is going to be difficult. This is like pleading guilty to a crime you know for a fact you've committed. You're not running away from it. You're not hiding from the consequences of your own actions. There are some harsh truths that you have to face that are buried deep within you that you are giving the space to come out, so that with time you can learn to live within yourself and say that you can still live in peace regardless of how deep, dark, and scary the water, the sea within you may be. You are learning to accept yourself as a whole. You recognize that you are a human that has made mistakes in the past and will probably continue to make more in the future, but you're open and willing to make a change and do things differently and become a better member of society whenever you are ready to come out of isolation. You're in the process of gaining the information and tools that you need to build yourself up to become a better human being than you were in the past. And that is a tough challenge to take on, to learn how to live authentically in your truth. And the universe is proud of you for willingly going out of your way to take on this challenge. And that is worth acknowledging more often. And that is all that I have for you, pile number 2. You've reached the end of your reading. I hope that the messages within this pile resonated with you. If you would like to, don't forget to like, comment, and or subscribe to follow when I next upload. And till then, I hope that you guys have a blessed and wonderfully divinely guided day. See you later. Hello, my pile number 3s. Let's find out what is the positive message that you need to receive right now. And for your first 3 tarot cards, you have the Knight of Swords reversed, the 10 of Wands reversed, and the World card upright. And pulling from the Golden Mantras affirmation deck, you have the card that says, I am me, I am accepted, I am appreciated, I am loved. And reading from the guidebook for your card, it says, my love, you are a masterpiece through and through. You are beautifully and boldly you. You are seen, accepted, and appreciated for your contributions and your audacity to exist authentically. Most importantly, you are loved. You are loved by your highest self, the divine, your people, and your community. And if you would like to answer this question for your journal prompt, it says, what do love, acceptance, and appreciation look like in my life? How do I give all 3, and how do I receive? So far, for all 3 piles, the positive message is that everyone is learning to love and accept themselves. However, what triggers this push for love and acceptance may be different. For you, pile number 3, it feels like you've been pushed over the edge, and that's what caused this positive shift in your life to occur. This may be my pile where you've done so much for others, you show up for them, you uplift them, you support them, but do you get this treatment in return? No. And you're over it. You have been running a one-person show for far too long with no help, and you can't keep up with it anymore. In the beginning, you didn't mind. It didn't feel like a burden. It may not have been a responsibility of yours to begin with, but over time, it started to feel like it was your responsibility, and others expected you to show up and pull through for them. This could be like family members being dependent on you for money, and they took your kindness for weakness and took advantage of you. They didn't necessarily need your money, but they knew if they asked for your money, you would cave in and give it to them. This would be like your job, giving you responsibilities that are not in your job descriptions and are way above your pay grade. They consistently rely on you to do the job of others, and you're in a space now where you are just now realizing that you don't have to put up with this. I don't know why, but the World card in your reading is giving me the energy of balance being restored. In you choosing yourself in a particular situation in your life, it is causing an effect in others' lives to nudge them to get their stuff together. The positive message here is that you are learning to choose yourself. You are showing yourself right now that you accept yourself, you appreciate yourself, and you love yourself. And through you learning this, there is a cycle that is being created where you create the space and environment that is able to give that to you in return. Not only are you able to feel accepted, appreciated, and loved by yourself, you also feel accepted, appreciated, and loved by the connections and environments around you. In one of the previous piles, I said that something was the gift that keeps on giving, and that's the same energy that I'm picking up on for you, pile number 3. You learning to restore balance in your life and care for yourself properly is what's creating this beautiful cycle where the world around you is pouring back into you and treating you how you want to be treated. You are learning to be a little bit more careful with your energy and how easily you give it away to others. You're tired of leaving little for yourself at the end of each day. You're learning to save some energy for yourself as well. For your next tarot card, you have the Page of Cups upright. A lot of you are directing your energy toward yourself and are asking yourself, what do I need to do for myself that will allow me to enjoy life more? it's like this new energy of excitement is coming in for you, where you're learning to get creative, have fun, allow your inner child the safe space to come through every once in a while and say, let's play, let's have fun. The world is our oyster. We don't have to live the life you've been leading all this time. You can switch things up a bit. Again, there is this energy of balance being restored for you in your life. There was too much of one thing and not enough of the other. There wasn't enough love and care that was being poured into you, but now, instead of waiting around for it to come to you, you create the space to make it a priority for you to have love and care be poured into you. Pulling from the self-care wisdom cards deck, you have the happiness card that says your thinking will either make your happiness or take your happiness. You choose. Everything is in your hands to make the choice to choose your happiness, no one else's. And I think you're starting to realize that, pal number 3. You're learning to take more of the responsibility of your own happiness. Again, there's a cycle here because you were offloading your happiness responsibilities to others when it didn't technically have to be their responsibilities. Some of you could have felt left with disappointment or irritation. Some of you could have thought, well, I would never treat others this way, so I expect others to treat me how I treat them. And you're taking on the responsibilities of others out of the kindness of your own heart, thinking that you're doing a good thing. But in reality, what you're finding out is that the equivalent exchange that you're looking for isn't being returned back to you. Picking up that you have to start treating yourself how you want others to treat you. Picking up on the word expectations. You set the standard. If others start to see that you treat yourself a certain way, they'll visually see and understand what they need to bring to the table whenever you come around. They'll see that you're not fooling around. There is this level of self-respect that you gain that shifts the energy around you. Something about you is different, and others will start to notice. When you give your self-respect, it indicates to people that if they cannot provide that same level of respect to you, they should think twice before showing up at your doorstep to offer you their foolishness. Now, there are some who are audacious enough to test the waters and continue to bring foolishness to your doorstep, especially if they knew the kind of person that you were before you found your self-respect. And in those moments, you have to hold your ground and say, these are the new rules and expectations moving forward. If you feel as though you cannot respect these rules and expectations, then I will have to kindly ask you to leave the premises. For your next tarot cards, you have the Seven of Pentacles reversed, clarified by the Hermit card upright. You may find that others will start to fall back and choose to not engage with you anymore because you're no longer tolerating the vicious cycle you were initially participating in that they benefited from. Others may say to themselves, you know what, I don't think I want to interact with pal number 3 anymore because they're starting to see through my BS, and that's defeating the purpose of me continuing to engage with them. So I think it's best that I leave now and find someone else who will fall victim to my BS and will tolerate it. And for you, pal number 3, you're okay with that. I'm hearing someone say good riddance. You're learning that you would rather be alone than to tolerate another person's BS. And you're at peace with this. You would rather surround yourself with people who will accept this new and improved version of you and will continue to show you how you can better treat yourself. The people that you are noticing are slowly falling away from your life were people who were not ready to put in the work to make the connection better and long lasting. Essentially, these people are using you, and you finally decided to put a stop to it. And going back to your self-care happiness card, you can look at the people falling away in your life and say, I'm upset. Although these people were treating me poorly, they were family, or I shared a connection with them, and I don't want them to leave, which would keep you in the cycle you were already in. You could look on the brighter side and say, I'm glad that they were showing me their true colors and are proving to me that I am making the right choice and putting myself first in this situation. And you are able to live in peace and happiness knowing that you are choosing yourself and ridding yourself from energy vampires. Them leaving is making space for the real people who are willing to come in and accept, appreciate, and love you the way that you wish for yourself to receive love, appreciation, and acceptance. And that is your positive message. You're learning to choose yourself more often. For the next question that I want to ask in your reading, let's find out what your positive message is regarding the way in which you are healing that you may benefit from acknowledging more often. And to answer this question, pulling from the Below the Surface Oracle deck, you have the Moorish Idol card that says, Unchangeable Devotion, where do your loyalties lie? And reading from the guidebook for your card, it says, did you know Moorish idol fish mate for life? This elegant creature is fiercely loyal and will never stray from its mate. So when you receive a message from the Moorish idol, you know it's time to ask yourself where your loyalties lie, whether you care, and if reciprocation exists. Being dedicated to many different people and causes in your life can strain your mental and physical health. This is especially true when you are the only one who devotes all of yourself to a project while the other participants stand by and benefit from your efforts. When the Moorish idol appears, it is time for you to reflect on where to best place your unwavering dedication right now. Someone faithful and sincere isn't easy to come by, so remember what you offer in the face of backlash. Your time is invaluable, and you have the right to reassess whether you are happy with where your loyalties lie at any given time. Don't feel shy to request to receive the same level of devotion you provide. I feel like that's it. The card is very self-explanatory. It confirms all that I've said thus far in your reading, but I'm going to be fair for you, pile number 3, and pull 2 tarot cards for you. So for your tarot cards, you have the High Priestess card upright paired with the Devil card reversed. The Priestess card is here to say that you already know the answer to how you're healing right now and the praise you should be giving yourself. Again, the Moorish Idol Oracle card confirms a lot of what I mentioned so far in your reading. The Devil card is simply here to say that you are freeing yourself from the chains others wanted you to be linked to. You're realizing that you have a choice and that you don't have to play these games anymore. You would no longer want to participate in a game in a cycle that is rigged and you were always meant to come in last place. You're done with that, and you should applaud yourself for making it to this point and saying that you are now choosing to be loyal to yourself and to those who are willing to play a fair game where everyone gets to have fun and enjoy themselves. A lot of things are becoming clear to you. People, environment, circles that you're in, you're doing a deep cleaning and are detaching from what no longer serves your highest and greatest good so you can get rid of it in your life. Again, you are making space and weeding out the things that are not solid in your life, the things that are not reliable or trustworthy in your life. The High Priestess card could also indicate to trust your intuition. For example, if someone is trying to manipulate you or gaslight you, your intuition is here to tell you the truth so you don't fall into the manipulation and or gaslighting traps. Your intuition is guiding you down a clear path that it starts to become easy to navigate your way during these confusing times in your life. It will help to make things clearer who is here to stay and who is meant to go. But overall, you've got this. Your healing is teaching you that you can trust yourself, and you should acknowledge that more often about yourself because you're getting stronger by each day. And that is all that I have for you, pile number 3. You've reached the end of your reading. I hope that the messages within this pile resonated with you. If you would like to, don't forget to like, comment, and or subscribe to follow when I next upload. And until then, I hope that you guys have a blessed and wonderfully divinely guided day. Goodbye.